Xin chào, what's up everybody? We are in beautiful Phnom Penh in Cambodia, and we are about to do some Vietnam news update. Now there's other YouTubers in Vietnam that are acting like Vietnam is wide open, easy, they'll help you get over there, they're giving you a service. Now if that's what you want to listen to, no problem, whatever makes you happy. Now I'm not an expert in this stuff, neither are they. None of this stuff is factual information yet. It's all just proposals, and they're still pretty bad proposals at that. It is a step in the right direction, but let's take apart all the news. Let's talk about it. What is really going to happen? Is Vietnam really going to open in March, and what's it going to look like if they do open? So firstly, let's talk about that. There's been a rumor going around for a month plus now that on March 31st Vietnam was going to completely open with no restrictions besides a antigen test, no more PCR, which makes sense because come on now, and just the vaccine, your proof of vaccine. So that rumor's literally been flying around, maybe even longer than 30 days. And this was a lot like the rumor when they allowed back in TRC holders and stuff. We heard that information a month ahead of time in some varying form or some way. So let me just read directly the article. I'm going to read the VN Express one. They seem to be really big proponents of trying to get tourism back. You have to decipher these articles too. They're not, they're not written exactly as is. So, Ministry of Culture, Sports, Tourism is seeking opinions from relevant agencies on a draft proposal to fully reopen inbound and outbound tourism for March 15th with eased restrictions. So again, a proposal. That is not a fact. That is not the letter with a red stamp on it. Would I be booking a trip right now for March? No. Would I come to Phnom Penh and wait it out? Yes. Especially if you're coming to live in Vietnam. But if you're planning a vacation, would I plan my vacation on a rumor right now? No. I would wait until it's factual. And the flights are still a bit too expensive. So now that they've eased and resumed all pre-COVID international flights and flying, the flights should get significantly cheaper as the months go on. Now that they're all back, it's not just specific routes. I saved quite a bit of money on my return ticket from Cambodia because they opened up more routes. So I was able to get a better. I got a noon plane tomorrow instead of waiting till 4. They only used to have a 4 p.m. plane. Now there's 3 or 4 flights per day. So I don't know where we're walking. We're just freestyling. So I would also want to wait until the flights are a little bit cheaper. The Prime Minister has several times directed a full reopening of the borders to foreign tourists no later than the end of April and ideally at the end of March. The ministry is collecting feedback from relevant ministries to complete its draft proposal before submitting it to the government. Under the proposal, as it fully reopens its air, land, and sea borders, Vietnam would only require foreign tourists to furnish a certificate they have been fully vaccinated or have recovered from COVID. Now, there's a lot of people that think that they're going to come into Vietnam without the vaccine thing and just that you're recovered from COVID. Well, I've got news to tell you. Same in Phnom Penh. You're not getting into a bunch of shit because they want to see your COVID app. They want to scan it. So if you're not vaxxed, Vietnam is not for you. Neither is Cambodia. I mean, I've had my one in Cambodia checked at multiple places. Even a club last night wouldn't let me in without checking my vaccine passport. So the whole recovered from COVID vaccine thing or certificate is not going to fly in my opinion. You can do what you want, but people here are super pro-vax, and yeah, that is what it is. Take that information how you want to take it, whatever. Instead of having to submit a negative PCR test result done 72 hours before departure, tourists will be allowed to show a negative rapid antigen test done in 24 hours at their accommodation facilities after arrival. So just being able to go to the hotel and take the test there, which is not a bad idea. It's still a lot for an antigen check. They're like $55. If it's me, just get rid of the test altogether. You don't need any tests. If you've got the vaccine, just let them in. We've got to end this madness of all this testing. It's just if you're gonna open, just open, you know, just have the vaccine, that's it. They also need to furnish medical or travel insurance, including coverage of COVID-19 treatment worth at least $20,000 instead of $50,000. Well, on that end, you should always have travel medical insurance. It doesn't cost a whole heck of a lot of money. It is a very good thing to have in case you get hurt or something happens when you're traveling abroad. I have it. I would recommend that you get it if you're a traveler. If you're coming just to Vietnam for a 2-week vacation, yeah, then that might suck to have to buy it, but it's worth having, so. And then this is the part that was not included in the rumor. Fully vaccinated tourists can book 3-day tour packages with designated travel agencies, while unvaccinated have to book a 7-day tour package at the minimum. They can freely move around after that. Vietnam is set to remove restrictions on international flights starting February 15th, allowing frequency to return to pre-pandemic levels. The government started allowing foreign tourists under a vaccine passport program last November. So far, nearly 9,000 foreign arrivals have been welcomed under the program with several preset conditions and constraints. Half of them Vietnamese overseas coming to see their relatives. More than half. It's almost all Vietnamese coming back. Not too many people signed up for a $4,000 tour package, as that's pretty insane to just come to a vacation in Vietnam unless you're filthy rich and have money to waste. I would not waste $4,000 to come to Vietnam in under almost any circumstance unless I had a wife or some kind of family thing here, but now you can just get in with your TRC or 5-year visa exemption. So I mean, that's really the breakdown, to be honest with you. There's not much more to really say on this other than, you know, if there's some other YouTuber trying to peddle you a service to help you out through all this stuff, you don't need to do that. And if they're trying to send you on or sell you on a thing like it's gonna for sure be open and we'll help you figure it all out, I would be very wary of that stuff. I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's, I mean, your prerogative, but we do not have any official documentation on this. This stuff is all just what you would call like a rumor. It's literally just a rumor. So you can't go running with a rumor, you know? Is it really good news and a positive step in the right direction? Yes. But if they really do make you do a tour group package, that's kind of also dead on delivery. Like, I am not doing a 3-day tour package. If Cambodia said I had to sign up for a 3-day tour package when I got here, I wouldn't have came here, because that's 3 days wasted. I'm not wasting 3 days. Now they've gotten rid of the quarantine, which is what I think is the biggest read out of that. If they do open, just get rid of the quarantine. If you want your stupid antigen test, do the stupid antigen test, and then there's no need to do a 3-day tour group. And the unvaccinated 7-day thing, I don't know. Whatever. That I'm fine with. I think that's actually the right move for the unvaccinated. Make them stay in a hotel for 7 days in some kind of tour group thing and parade them around with a tour guide. But as far as being vaccinated, and especially if you have 3 doses, just let them in, antigen test, Bob's your uncle, open up the country. I tell you what, the one problem you'll have if you come to Cambodia is leaving Cambodia. The PCR test is $130. Yes, you can get one for $80, but it's booked like 3 weeks ahead. So you would have to plan your PCR test as you get here or even beforehand. And the way that they do the testing is probably the biggest joke I've ever seen in my life. It took 3 hours to get a PCR. It took longer to get the PCR test than it took me all 3 times to get my vaccination, all 3 doses. I spent more time on one PCR test than I've messed with any other COVID thing. It was such a waste of time. I was so disappointed in it. They had one lady checking everybody's paperwork, and that's what bottlenecked the whole thing. The average person she would check, ooh, Ethereum's up 5%. They would have one person check the paperwork, and it took her about 15 minutes per person, and there was a queue of 100 people in front of me. And she was just super slow. It was just such a bad process, and there was no aircon. They had us in this hot room, and you could tell the same people were running the same thing I would. There's only 3 places that do PCR tests. It was so ridiculous, and the other 2 were all full. So then the one that conveniently charged the most amount of money was the one taking, no matter like however many people came in. They didn't cap it like the other ones. So be aware of that if you come to Cambodia. You've got to get a stupid PCR test if you're going to Vietnam. As of now, it might change to that antigen test, and then the antigen test is pretty easy to get. It's $55 here. A bunch of places do the antigen one. So I think, you know, if you want to see a success, like Cambodia is still not that packed, to be honest with you. It's not like booming with tourists. I mean, they're here, but like, and you can tell it's in part because of like those kind of restrictions, the testing on arrival, and the testing on, the whole testing on arrival thing. It's got to go for both countries. If they want to have really open tourism, get rid of the testing. You don't need it, man. This is a common flu now. We're not working with shit we don't know about like when this thing first came out. We know about it now. We have the data. The information is in. What are we doing? Why are we still acting like this is going to wipe out half of a population? If you truly want to see Vietnam open and have successful tourism, you ditch the testing. You have your proof of your vaccine and let them in. That's it. It should be nothing else. It should be the same in Cambodia too. And I shouldn't have to get another test to just go back to Vietnam. All that stuff is getting, that's where the mind fuckery is happening at. And it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So I mean, there's really no need to really go too much longer on this video. We hit exactly what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to give you the information. There is nothing official yet. Let me repeat, there is nothing official other than the resumption of more flights. So this is all just rumor and speculation right now. Remember, rumor and speculation. Did a lot of these rumors and speculations come true with other stuff? Yes. Were they altered as they became truths? Yes. So would I base a vacation right now or use a service that says they're gonna, you know, help me come in on March 15th? No. Is that up to you? Yes. Am I an expert? No. Do your own research? Yes. All right, guys, that's the video. I hope this helped you out. I'll be back in Vietnam tomorrow. Vietnam content will pick back up. We still got about 15 more Cambodia videos, but we'll sprinkle in Cambodia with Vietnam. We keep it moving on this channel. So yeah, we'll see you back in Saigon. Stay frosty. See you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace out.